Picture this. You're prepping dinner. You slice some raw chicken, then, without washing, use the same knife to chop your salad. Risky, right?
Now, imagine using a spoon that just stirred peanut curry in what's supposed to be a completely peanut-free dish. Equally concerning, but are these risks the same?
Absolutely not. And understanding why is crucial. Today, we're diving into cross-contamination versus cross-contact. It's a life-saving distinction.
At its core, both involve the transfer of something unwanted, but what is being transferred makes all the difference.
Exactly. Cross-contamination means the transfer of harmful substances, bacteria, chemicals, you name it. While cross-contact, that's the transfer of allergens. Think peanut proteins, gluten.
So, contamination is a general food safety hazard, a risk to everyone. But cross-contact is an allergen-specific hazard, only dangerous to those with allergies. That's the key difference we'll unpack today.
Let's dive deeper into cross-contamination. It's all about the transfer of harmful stuff, bacteria, nasty chemicals, even rogue bits of metal, from one place to another, making food unsafe for everyone.
Think about it. Raw meat drips onto a shelf, and then your lovely lettuce sits there. Boom, contaminated. Or someone doesn't wash their hands properly and then prepares your sandwich.
Exactly. Cross-contamination can also occur with cleaning chemicals if residue enters the food. Or a physical hazard, like a stray hair or a small metal shaving falling into your product during manufacturing.
So we're talking about biological hazards like salmonella, chemical hazards like cleaning supplies, and physical hazards like, well, that rogue hair. It's like a domino effect of danger.
The key takeaway? Cross-contamination introduces hazards, making the food unsafe for consumption regardless of allergies. It's a general food safety issue. Let's zoom in on cross-contact. It's when an allergen accidentally transfers to a food that shouldn't have it. And critically, this impacts allergic individuals only.
Right. Think about it. Fries cooked in the same fryer as fish. The fries themselves might look perfectly safe.
Or what about a production line? Maybe it processed peanuts earlier, and there's still some residue clinging to the equipment.
And it's not always obvious. Using the same spoon for a dish with nuts and then a nut-free dish, that's cross-contact in action.
Even something as seemingly harmless as flour dust containing gluten settling on a product labeled gluten-free is a problem.
So the key takeaway here is this. Cross-contact isn't about germs. It's specifically about spreading allergens. These allergens pose no danger to people without allergies.
Okay, let's nail the key difference. Cross-contamination equals the spread of harmful substances. Think bacteria or chemicals.
And cross-contact, that's the spread of allergen proteins, the things that trigger allergic reactions. Simple as that.
Exactly. Picture this. A chef slices raw chicken, then, without washing, uses the same knife to chop veggies for a salad. That's textbook cross-contamination. The salad's now got potentially harmful bacteria.
Right. Now imagine that same chef makes a killer peanut sauce. Then they use the same spoon to stir a dish that's supposed to be peanut-free. That's cross-contact. Even a tiny bit of peanut residue can cause a major reaction.
So while both scenarios are bad news, they require different prevention strategies. Cross-contamination focuses on hygiene, hand washing, sanitizing surfaces, and separating raw and cooked foods.
And cross-contact? It needs allergen segregation, dedicated tools, and super thorough cleaning to validate allergen removal. It's all about stopping those sneaky proteins from causing harm.
So why does understanding this difference even matter? Because controlling cross-contamination is different than controlling cross-contact.
Exactly. Both need tight procedures, but the focus shifts. For cross-contamination, think broad-spectrum defense.
Like?
Hand washing is key, and constant surface cleaning with sanitizers. Don't forget pest control. You can't have insects spreading bacteria. And physically separating raw and cooked food areas is vital.
Got it. What about cross-contact?
Here, we target allergens specifically. Allergen segregation is crucial, meaning keeping allergenic ingredients completely separate. Dedicated tools, separate knives, cutting boards, etc. are a must.
Makes sense.
Proper labeling is also essential, so everyone knows what potential allergens are present. Finally, allergen cleaning validation, testing to confirm cleaning procedures actually remove allergen residue.
So, why is cross-contact so scary? It's because even a tiny, almost invisible amount of an allergen can trigger a really serious reaction.
We're talking severe allergy symptoms, a trip to the emergency room, or even legal consequences for the business. And product recalls? Huge headache.
Exactly. Think about it. With bacterial contamination, cooking can often kill the bacteria and make the food safe. But cooking doesn't remove the allergen. The protein is still there, ready to cause a reaction.
It's like you can't just nuke away peanuts if someone has a peanut allergy.
Precisely. That's why dedicated equipment and super careful cleaning are essential. Cross-contact isn't just about cleanliness. It's about managing specific proteins. It requires a different level of vigilance. Let's paint a factory picture, Casey. Morning shift, plain biscuits. Afternoon, peanut biscuits. Sounds harmless, right?
Until you realize what happens if the equipment isn't cleaned thoroughly between shifts.
Exactly. Tiny, invisible peanut proteins can stick around. Now, that next batch of biscuits gets labeled nut-free. Huge problem.
That's cross-contact in action. It's not about general cleanliness, it's about specific allergen transfer.
Think of it this way. Cross-contamination is like getting a stain on your shirt, generally unappealing. Cross-contact is like that stain containing poison ivy, a serious threat to certain people.
So how do we remember the difference? Here's a memory trick. Contamination equals contaminants, bacteria, chemicals, general nasties.
And contact equals allergen contact. Simple as that. Let's talk business. What happens when we mess up these controls?
Well, poor cross-contamination control can lead to widespread food poisoning outbreaks. Think about it. A single contaminated batch can sicken hundreds, even thousands.
Exactly. And the business impact is huge. Lawsuits, closures, and a ruined reputation. What about cross-contact?
That leads to allergen recalls. Undeclared allergens are a leading cause of global food recalls. It's not just a slap on the wrist. It can cost companies millions.
Why are allergen recalls so common?
Allergens are often invisible and sneaky. A tiny amount is all it takes to trigger a reaction. Many companies fail to validate their cleaning procedures properly.
So they think they're cleaning well enough, but they're not.
Precisely. They might use visual inspections, but allergen proteins can linger even when things look clean. Allergen cleaning validation, using testing like ELISA, is key to confirm effectiveness and avoid those costly recalls. The stakes are incredibly high.
Let's paint a picture. Imagine a restaurant bustling with activity.
Shrimp and fries, a classic combo, right? But what if they're fried in the same oil?
A customer with a shellfish allergy orders those seemingly innocent fries. They take a bite, and then a severe allergic reaction.
It wasn't that the oil was dirty or even that the fries looked unsafe. So what happened?
Cross-contact. The oil itself became the sneaky culprit. Even though it appeared clean, it carried those shellfish allergen proteins.
The frying process didn't destroy the allergen. Those proteins transferred from the shrimp to the oil and then from the oil to the fries.
And that's the critical thing to remember. It's not always about visible contamination. Allergens can be invisible hitchhikers, creating a very real danger. That's why dedicated fryers or validated cleaning processes are so vital in food service. Okay, let's bring it home. Cross-contamination. It's the spread of germs and hazards. Think salmonella from chicken.
Right, and cross-contact. That's allergens sneaking in where they shouldn't be, like peanut proteins in a supposedly nut-free dessert.
Both are invisible to the naked eye. You can't see the bacteria or the allergen.
And both are dangerous, but here's the critical part. You control them differently. For germs, it's all about cooking temperatures, cleaning, and separation.
Exactly. But for allergens, cooking often doesn't eliminate the risk. You need dedicated equipment, validated cleaning, and super careful labeling.
Messing this up has real consequences. People get sick, companies get sued, and products get recalled.
So remember, contamination is about hazards. Contact is about allergens. Understanding the difference can literally save lives.
Want more simple explanations of food safety, ISO, and HACCP?
Subscribe to Search Your Consultancy. We make standards easy to understand.